Hello, 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 everyone out there. I'm Joyous Wallace, actor, speaker, coach, and I know that there's a lot of people out there in certain pockets that know who I am, but there may be others who may see this video that do not. So anyway, I'm here outside at what's called Old Town in Conyers, Georgia. And hey, it's coffee time. So if you have an opportunity, make you a quick cup of coffee, take a moment, have a seat, sit a week, is what Mr. O'Neill from my hometown of Flint, Michigan, the father of DJ Clay, Clarence O'Neill, used to always say to us, have a seat, sit a week with some coffee. And it's some good coffee too, it's frothy. Oh yeah, it's really good, really good. There's an old ice cream shop right behind me there. So I, once again, am taking a break from doing some coaching. I have a coaching client that is running for a seat here in Rockdale County, and also rehearsing my one-person show on the life of Frederick Douglass. It used to be called Starry Road to Freedom. Now it's called The Lion of Thunder. It's my newest version that's going on tour. It's still in development. I think it'll continue to develop through this touring and as I experiment with it for the next year or two. It might be my final version of Frederick Douglass. I've been saying that for many years. People may tell you who know me. But as I'm working on it, it brings me to a lot of feelings about what is happening culturally, what is happening in our world. And I am about unity. There's a lot of things in the atmosphere that's about division. And there are a lot of things that have happened through the course of history that, quite frankly, the way that the world system and the world powers are, there always has been division. But there's always been people who have stood up for unity, who have stood up for justice, who have stood up for liberty, true liberty, and freedom. And it reminds me of a story I ran across a couple of years ago by surprise. Not to get religious, to be quite honest, but I think that there's stories within religion, just as there are in folklore and mythology and allegory, that sometimes are speaking of an eternal truth, a universal truth that we all can have an impact by or be impacted by. And the story reminds me in a sense of gang life, because it's all about, let's just say, this warrior. And there's some intense things that's happening in the hood. It's really a nation, but you might say in the hood, right? And so this warrior has anger and frustration with this other gang, right? Or tribe, right? That's fighting against them because there's beef that's been going on between these warring gangs for a long time. And so they're going at each other, And so what ends up happening is, in the midst of this challenging time, in the midst of this gang life, gang violence between these warring factions, all of a sudden, in the midst of the head warrior, comes this incredible, fierce-looking warrior. so fierce that this particular person knew in that moment they were going to die. And so this particular person was saying to himself, hey, this is going to be it for me. I might as well ask the question, and at least I should know who I'm being killed by. And so he says to this fierce looking warrior, listen, I know that you're here to kill me, but I have a question to ask you. Are you on our side or are you on their side? And this fierce warrior said, neither. But I am the captain of the Lord of hosts. Choose this day who you will serve. And eventually, this person, Joshua, or Yeshua, said, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Now, once again, not being, oh, there's Unfanny. Hey, Unfanny, I understand that you're in Memphis. Maybe I'll see you guys when I come home. It's not so much about that. To me, what it is about is the idea that there's something bigger in us than all the division that's going on. There's something bigger than us than what the media, which to a large degree has been our enemy, the promoter of propaganda. There's something bigger than us and for us than everything that we're being fed over and over again that divides us, that causes us to reach outside of ourselves for power. And that perhaps that's the side that we should be on, that we should be on the inspirational side, that we should be on the progressive side, that we should be on the side that expands beyond what we're told we are, that it should expand beyond what's the limitations that's put out there for us, that we're told we can only go so far as, that there's something bigger in us than that, and that is bigger than us than that is something that unifies us all. And so, which I believe is that divine spark that's within us. And so I'd like to encourage everybody, I guess you can't help but say it is religion. Because I keep referring to it, but the other Joshua, or Yeshua, Jesus, the Greeks call his name Jesus, even though he was Hebrew. And his name was Yeshua, or Yehoshua. But he said something very interesting. He said, when they say that the kingdom is out here or over there, don't listen. He went on to say, because the kingdom of God is within you. And in some scriptures, it says not only within you, but all around you. And to me, on a deeper level, what that means is what we want out of this life, who we want to be and what we want to have is within us. And because we have that power within us, we're able to meet the challenges that may come against us. And we don't have to get into a space where we participate in the division that's out there. It's impossible at the end of the day for us to live without one another. On the planet, it's diverse no matter how you look at it. In the universe, it's diverse. There is a single factor, though. Hey, look, we all come from Africa at the end of the day. All of us. That's a scientific fact. That's an archaeological fact. But even deeper than that, when we go beyond our flesh, when you close your eyes, you see the same thing I do. Darkness. But within that darkness is tremendous light. And within that light is darkness. And it goes on and on and on. And from out of that space, our imagination, if you look around you, I think I said this last time, everything that you see are ideas. They all came from out of your imagination. And so when you tap into that darkness, from out of that darkness comes your imagination in which you can visualize, hey, DeAndre, what you visualize is what you can bring into manifestation. But isn't it interesting that when you, at nighttime, that same darkness you see in space, where the stars are, as a matter of fact, gives birth to those stars. And so all I'm saying is when we look within ourselves, we see the same thing. And I believe that there's more unity that connects to truth than division. Yet we can appreciate each other's differences on all different levels. So, freedom, liberty, the things that Frederick Douglass stood up for, is something that is already in us. At the end of the day, the founding fathers did not come up with it. They borrowed principles that's already written in the universe, already written in creation, already written in who we are, so that we can be what we want to be, do what we want to do, and have what we want to have. Hey, Byron Brown is watching. Hey, Byron. So, I can't help but listen, there are actors and artists that are dying around me. I passed by a car yesterday morning. It was really tragic. An accident had just happened. I didn't see the accident, but as I was passing by, a truck had stopped and the police were on the way, but there was somebody checking on the individuals that were in the cars. Both cars, the people were unconscious. And from where I was driving, I could see blood. I don't know if they survived or not, because there was this silence. If you've ever seen a dead body, and I have, unfortunately, there's this silence that surrounds someone newly in transition to the next life. And so, it tells me that we never know when we're going to go. And my desire is to live this day the best that I can. Not perfect, but to do the best that I can. And that the things that inspire me, maybe I can say something to inspire you. I spent most of my life depressed, to be honest. Only over the past decade or so have I found, hope and joy. I can't tell if it stopped or not. But I think maybe the internet went out, but maybe it's back now. So anyway, I'm here because I want to bring some inspiration. Oh, there's Willie, my partner in crime. Willie just finished a film that I mentioned about a year ago, but it has some glitches, and Willie has been very diligent in getting it done, called Being Frederick Douglass. Not to be confused with Becoming Frederick Douglass, which was a show that was adapted by Melania Levitsky, who is a great friend and director friend of mine. But it's going to be a curriculum that's going to go along with the show, and so Willie's here. So it was inspiration that brought me from the depths of depression, to be quite honest. And as much as I coach speakers, I've been very shy about getting online with you. Hey, Lisa. Lisa is from the hood. She's my homegirl, my real homegirl, from Flint, Michigan. South Side, even though I grew up on the Northwest side. But I went to school on the South Side, so I got to represent both. Hey, Lisa. All the way back to Scott School in Flint, Michigan. But inspiration is the thing that really brought me out of the depths of depression to have more of an experience of joy on a daily basis. Happy holidays, Lisa. And it's something that I try to instill in my kids. And so I've been shy about getting on, but I'm here now. And you guys will see me often now, because anything that I can share that may bring anything from my experience, strength, and hope that can give you strength and give you a taste of my experience and can give you more hope, hey, I'm all about it. I'd rather that than hold it all in. I hope I'm not on the soapbox. I honestly am not trying to be, but I am being myself. And so there you have it. And so, I think I mentioned before, if you don't have a way to inspire yourself, I'd like for you to think about that. What brings you joy on a regular basis? That's a real question. Put it in the chat. I haven't said that yet. Put it in the chat. What brings you joy on a regular basis? Inspired by your words. Thank you, Byron. Don't put it in there. Don't y'all be shy. And maybe you putting it in there and I can't read it because I'm still trying to figure out this technology stuff. And if you're having trouble thinking about it, well, then I'm glad I'm asking the question, because I think it's really important for you to know what brings you joy on a regular basis. Are there certain podcasts that bring you joy? Are there certain movies that bring you joy? Certain streaming television shows? Are there certain books? Helping others makes me happy, Byron said. That's beautiful. I mean, that's marvelous. Hey, Rain. That's marvelous, that helping others, there is something beautiful about that. Spending time with loved ones, that's beautiful. Both helping others and spending time around the people that you love and care about, because, a great friend of mine, hey, Phil. Oh, it's Bill. Okay, I wish you and others best. Thank you. You too. Oh, beautiful. Yes, Central Indian. Ah, yes. Someone else from Flint Town. Beautiful. Those are great ways to get inspiration for yourself. There's a director of mine, Harry Bryce, brilliant director, said to me that spring water flowing, hi, there is me and Penny. Hey, Penny. Spring water flowing into a desert annihilates itself, because the desert has no capacity to give back to spring water. So spring water flowing into spring water is reciprocal. And so there's something beautiful about giving back, because when you do, there's this flow of energy that happens. So serving, spending time with loved ones is a great way to bring joy. Is there anything else out there of how people get inspired? Because once you know what inspires you, then you know your go-to when you're not feeling great about life, or when things are, when you're down. When something tragic happens, one of the ways that you can recover is having a number of things that you can do to keep yourself stable and bring yourself back. And if helping others is that, then find moments to be able to do that. If spending time with loved ones is that, then call upon them when you're struggling and see how that inspires you. Because, you really can't you can't love nobody. It says love your neighbor as yourself. How do you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself? So this is important. And what else is there that inspires you? So to think about that. Think about what you can do to take care of your mind. That's your thoughts, which influences the story you tell yourself. Accomplishments inspire me. Beautiful, yes. Setting goals and seeing those goals fulfilled is very, very important. Just 1 degree a day There's this beautiful book called Atomic Habits. Get it? Atomic Habits. And it's all about what Willie is talking about, that those subtle moments of accomplishment, just a little bit by bit, what it does over time. A martial arts teacher taught me 5 minutes of practice every day is better than 3 hours every other day because of the law of momentum. The law of momentum. So when you do that little bit every day, it expands out. And a year down the road, because you did a little bit, just imagine what that's like. So accomplishments is a great way. But you want to take care of your mind. You want to think about, have the right thoughts going. Have the right things flowing in your imagination. You want to find a way to take care of your emotions. What is that for you? Is it watching some stand-up comedy? You know, is it listening to some good music? But you want to find a way to take care of your emotions or your soul. And then also, how do you take care of yourself spiritually? You know, I said this in a post. The old man is what he likes me to call him, old rabbi, said to me that 99% of reality is invisible. And that everything we see is 1% reality. So what is this invisible that's in me? How do you take care of yourself spiritually? I want to suggest meditation. Matter of fact, not suggest it. Meditation has been one of the most amazing things that I've learned ever. Ever. That's one way. Breathing is another way. You know, really allowing for yourself to breathe. Hey, Jackie, a phenomenal person, a phenomenal performer, phenomenal Harriet Tubman. I hope you're doing well, Jackie. I do Frederick, she does Harriet. They were cousins. Did y'all know that? They were cousins. Chad Rhodes is watching. Hey, Chad. So breathing is really, really important. If you notice, when you get angry or you get fearful, you hold your breath. You get stressed, you hold your breath. And when you hold your breath, you're holding your energy, so the energy is not flowing. And when the energy is not flowing, that energy is powerful. It slows down, the vibration slows down, and it can slow down and materialize into a tumor or other diseases. But when you breathe, when you're constantly breathing, taking those deep breaths, you're releasing those toxins. And you find a better way to control yourself. Now, do I do that all the time? No, there are times when I can get upset and explode. And there are times when I'm in a situation stressed out and doing things that I shouldn't. Say no to drugs, though, as well as alcohol. I certainly do. But I'm not perfect with everything. Plain and damn simple. But I found when I breathe, it makes a huge difference in my life. And then lastly, so whatever that means, prayer works. I belong to an organization with a lot of larly ladies and fellows where we say always, prayer works. And it really, really does. It's also our family motto, prayer works. But then also physically. Pat is online. Now, Pat is an actor, a great film actor. I had a chance to work with Pat on the film that's coming out called Damaged Goods. And let me tell you, Pat is a great actor. And I really enjoyed working with him and learned a lot from him. Pat, I look forward to our movie coming out. And I look forward to working with you again. What's up, man? Talking to the people. Power to the people, as a matter of fact. I believe in the liberty and the freedom of the people. All about the people. Physically. What are you doing for yourself physically? I tell you what I do for myself. Y'all like my coat? What I do for myself physically is I practice Tai Chi a whole lot. Yeah. Tai Chi was very much a part of me healing my knees. I injured my knees in a play called As You Like It. I played Charles the Wrestler. And I thought I was still 25. But let me tell you something. I busted my knees, pretty much. And the director, Dan McClary, he probably remembers this, had to re-choreograph the whole thing. He was not happy. But it worked out. So I had a little Fred Sanford walk. Yep. And I had to use the rail to climb the stairs. But then Jamie Mann. How many of y'all know Jamie? Mr. Pickett. Mr. Pickett. Let me tell you about, before I get back into that, just real quick, Mr. Pickett, got to tell you about Mr. Pickett. Mr. Pickett is a very spiritual man. Yada from Flint, another Flintstone. Mr. Pickett, way back a long time ago, I ain't gonna tell you what decade, I had the privilege, I knew his son and staying in his house. Man, I woke up at 5 a.m. Mr. Pickett was on the floor, face down, praying. The whole atmosphere was full of serenity. And Mr. Pickett would sit me down and serve coffee and say some of the most profound things about the spirit. So I'm happy to see you, Mr. Pickett. I was talking to them about the spirit a little earlier, or spiritual things. But physically, how are you taking care of yourself? So I practiced Tai Chi, and I was able to get my body back in shape to now where I can execute punches and kicks really, really fast now because of Tai Chi, or how I find joy in developing myself physically at 55. Man, I'm just having fun. But seriously, for you, it might not be Tai Chi. It might not be martial art. It may be walking, which is one of the best things that you could do for yourself. It might be yoga. It might be running. It might be going to the gym. You know, at our age, now that I'm a senior citizen, let's drink to that. Great coffee. Lifting weights is really good at this stage. It's good for our bodies at this stage. Whatever it is, dancing, taking up dancing of sorts, right? And no matter where you are in age in life, as a matter of fact, the older we get, the better it is to make sure that blood is flowing. Life is in the blood. Make sure that blood is flowing properly. Make sure the water in your body, I think we're 75% water? Saw me on Law & Order SVU? Yeah, keep watching so they can keep sending me residuals. I'm glad you saw me on the show. Prentice says, I practice. Oh, cool. Beautiful. Now, I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, and I don't know that, but that particular martial art, but I think that's great. Pat is saying that he practices. Whatever it is that's going to allow for the blood to flow. I think we're 75% water. And we're also, believe it or not, we're full of electrical energy. Also, it's flowing through our bodies. All of it needs to be flowing properly. So whatever that is for you, you got to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself, yeah, it is the massages and it is, the ice cream, where I got this coffee. When I finish with you guys, I'm going to go get some ice cream with espresso in it. So that's taking care of yourself too. The ice cream with espresso, the chilling out, the massages and getting your nails done and your hair done and all of that stuff and pampering yourself. All of that's good. It's great. But remember also, you have to have a way of taking care of yourself in ways that's going to continue to grow yourself physically and keep the health going there. Grow yourself mentally. Keep the right thoughts going in your mind, the books you read, the things that you see, right? The things that you hear. And then emotionally, the things that's going to feed you emotionally. And then spiritually, which is 99% of who, according to science and according to the rabbi, 99% of who we are, the invisible, is the spiritual side, right? To take care of all those things. It's too many of my friends they're just leaving here. And so while I'm here, I want to encourage you all towards your best health, your best wealth, and your best self. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Health, wealth, self. Remember, in order to love your neighbor as yourself, you got to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how do you think you're going to love your neighbor? Anyway, that's all I got for today. Cheers to everyone. I've really enjoyed you. Thank you, Mr. Pickett. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day today. And I will see you soon. Peace.